actually start the recording. The session is about how to promote your website from ICIWorld, including search engine optimization and more. And one of the first articles we're going to start with is an article that is in Forbes magazine, and I had it on the screen here just a moment ago. So let's just see if we can find it. Here it is here. And you'll see that even the Fortune 500, 1,000 companies and all the people that work there, they feel that it's important to do search engine optimization. And really over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, this is the thing that all real estate people that take the time to learn how to optimize their website, to get people to go to their website, and particularly if your website's set up properly in the first place, one lead is going to make you a lot of money. So all of these things that we're going to be talking about today are actually very, very important because one lead that comes to your website, they call you, you hop in the car, you go show a property, and you make $10,000 or $20,000, whatever, or you do a referral and make money. It's important. So we're going to actually do some search engine optimization on a website today, and I'll show you the challenges of the problems because when you're in a large city, it's very hard to come up in what we call an organic fashion because coming up naturally is hard when there's so much competition. You almost have to use pay-per-click to come up. But you can get up to the top of the search engines within 48 hours with pay-per-click. And so the organic results work good in smaller communities and also smaller neighborhoods within a large city. And you can actually be coming up. And even though there might only be, instead of 1 million hits per month for a certain kind of a keyword on a city, you might only get 10,000. You only need 1 or 2 people to be calling you to go to see a property. And if your website is set up properly with proper listings, not just MLS as you're going to see in a moment, but with exclusive listings that people cannot click on, then you're well equipped to spend money on search engine optimization. Otherwise, you could be spending money and not getting the results. Now, the other things they talk about, blogging, I'm going to show an example of a website that got a really nice blog. This happens to be Mary Coughlin. She's a sales representative. And this, again, is a website supplied by ICIWorld for $16 a month, basically $16.50 a month. And basically, you'll see that up at the top, she's got these choices for residential, etc., and for commercial, which we recommended. And most brokers like the idea of being able to have the opportunity of both, even though you work residential. If you get a call on a commercial listing, you're going to do a referral. And if you're a commercial broker and get a call on a residential listing, you just kind of do a referral there as well. But I'm going to go to the blog, and this is a way to kind of have people subscribe to receive information on a regular basis. You know, one of the problems we have in real estate is we make a sale to somebody, and we expect hopefully in another 3 to 5 years for those people to kind of call us back and say, you did such a good job the first time around and I got to go and sell another house and buy another one. Can you help me? Well, the problem is that a lot of us don't keep in touch with people. We just don't keep in touch. Well, here's a marvelous, marvelous way to keep in touch. If you can have articles year in and year out coming from your website and that are of interest to people even when they are not buying a home, this helps you keep in touch with people so that when it comes around time when they do want to sell, they've been in touch with you the whole time through your articles, through your website, and through these kinds of blogs. The other thing that these blogs do is it becomes an interesting focal point for them to share with their fellow, with their family members, with their colleagues, with their acquaintances, and all of that. So these articles might be of interest to other people, and by having a simple articles like this coming on your blog to residential people, if that's what you specialize in, that can be of help. So that's we're going to go through these 4 top 10 items just to give you an idea how they can be working. Now, the pay-per-click is very interesting, and I'm going to use the session. Ron, you're in. Here's Ron Pencerny. Here's a website that he has from us down in Windsor Way. And we're going to see what we can do to maybe help search engine optimize this website so that it can come up on the search engines of the world. And what people might do in Windsor if they go on Google, one of the things they might do is they might type in Windsor real estate. And if they do, these are the kind of properties that are coming up. Now you're going to notice these ones say add, add, add. These are what they call pay-per-click ads. Now as we go down under these other ones here, you'll see these ones are coming up in a natural fashion. These are not pay-per-click, these ones. These are coming up in a natural fashion in that particular area. Now, if you wanted to come up right on top, I'm going to recommend that you consider the following. And all of us are now going to do an exercise, and I'm going to ask you to unmute your phones here in a minute and to answer verbally, or you can type them in. If your microphone's not working, get ready to type in the chat window. I'm going to be asking you a question here in a moment. And the question is this. Let's say, by the way, I'm going to start by giving you all $100 absolutely free advertising, and how you get that is by simply asking Google for it. So in other words, right now, you can actually ask Google for $100 free, and they'll actually give it to you free. So there's a $100 gift just for attending this session. And if you did some advertising and you got one buyer and you made $10,000, it all started right from this $100 from attending this session. And it's a shame that there's a lot of people are missing the session, but we're going to take advantage of the people that are here, and you're going to take advantage of the marketplace in this training. So let's say you spend $100 or $200 a month, and you do it for maybe a 3-month program to see if it works. And let's say you bid 50 cents a click or 25 cents a click. If somebody clicks, your website will come up here absolutely free. Absolutely free. This does not cost money for these websites to appear like this. It doesn't cost money until someone actually clicks on one of these. Now, it could be 50 cents, it could be 25 cents in your area. At one time, it used to be as little as 10 cents. And if you have keywords that are not even being used, it could be as little as 10 cents a click to come up. Now, I have a question for everyone. Let's say it costs, you have a budget, and someone clicked on this and it cost 50 cents, and then they visited your website, and let's say that it was this website right here, and let's say that they clicked on residential haves and wants, and let's say that they clicked on Windsor over here just for fun. Let's just go up here. And let's say these listings come up, and let's say that they called you on this particular property right here. They're going to try to click on that number, but they can't do it, so they've got to call you, Ron, and for more information because they want to go see this property. And if you went and you sold it, was it worth the 50 cents a click with Google advertising to generate that lead? Obviously, yes. Now I'm going to ask a second question. Would you pay $1 per click if you were to trigger a lead and people went to your website and they ended up giving you a call and you ended up selling a property? Would you pay as much as $1 a click? I'm asking everyone online now if you were able to do a deal.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. If it was $2 a click, is it worth it?
Sure.
How about, stay with me, I'm leading you someplace. If it was $10 a click, is it worth it?
Yes.
Yeah. So in other words, if you are doing deals, the bottom line is that pay-per-click can absolutely work for you. Now, I have an issue with Google, and Google sometimes tells me that, and tells others, you're getting, 10,000 hits, 1,000 hits. You're getting all of these hits. You're getting the traffic. People are clicking on things. The bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, because all of us are in the family of real estate, we're all real estate brokers or salespeople here today. If we're doing deals, if we're generating the leads, I suggest that is the bottom line. Why spend money you can spend 1, 2, 3, 400 bucks a month, 500 bucks a month. If you're not getting a physical, if you're not getting an actual physical lead, someone that calls you on the phone and says, I'm interested in something, I suggest that there's something wrong. And so today we're going to point out what could be wrong, why you're not getting those leads, why some people have beautiful websites and they're not generating leads off the internet. But that's how pay-per-click works. You start by setting a budget, and that's how Google is getting richer and richer, because they're getting all these real estate people competing against each other to get to the top of the search engines. And sometimes they're going to take the people with the biggest budgets and use that up first. That's probably wise from a revenue point of view from them, and that those people can end up getting calls. Now we know some people that are making $300,000 and $400,000 a year. Condos downtown Toronto, for instance, they're spending as much as $1,000 a month for search engine optimization, pay-per-click, to get to the top of the search engines. So you have to evaluate what it is that you're getting for that money, and you can be evaluating that each and every month. Okay, now, why might you not get leads? Well, let's go to Alice and Jerry's site, for instance, and I'm going to look at the site, and I'm going to go up here to our listings. Now, it looks like, Allison, you don't seem to have the widgets from ICIWorld on this website right at the moment. Let's just click on our listings and see what comes up. And what comes up are these listings here, and you'll notice that there's an address showing. And when the addresses are showing, is it possible that the people might drive by this property first before calling you? And if they drive by the property first before calling you, is it possible they might see the sign on the front of the property here someplace? And if they see the sign on the front of the property, is it possible they might end up calling the other broker and end up doing a deal with the other broker and not even doing a deal with you? In the meantime, you're spending $200, $300, $400 a month trying to promote this website. So I'm suggesting this particular website here is not optimized yet for triggering leads off the internet, because you could be losing them generating business for all these other brokers. So that's one thing. Now let's go to another website here, and let's look at Ron's. Now Ron, you've got another one here, residential haves and wants, mostly exclusive. You got Ontario, mostly exclusive. Now this comes up in a full page. That's not the way. In fact, you can make a note, Ron. This should be framed within the website. So it's not framed within the website properly here. I don't know why not, but it's not, and we have to fix that.
About that, I need some help with that. So
okay, so that's for everyone that's online. We recommend you book a 30-minute minimum appointment with us, and we keep booking 30-minute appointments once a month or once a week. Sorry, once every couple of days, and we'll go on, and it takes as long as it takes to get this optimized. It's a one-time setup. Once it's set up, you don't ever have to do it again, other than you must log into the website a minimum of once a month to look after your to-do list. Everybody should mark that down. The minimum you log into your websites is a minimum of once a month, and look after your to-do list. That's the bottom line. And then, if you're not generating leads after a 90-day period, you should definitely give us a call. If you have a flat tire in a car, you do not abandon the car. You call, you get the tire fixed. And so we're the tire fixers, the doctors of the internet, to kind of help fix all these things up. Let's go to another website. Let's look at Miroslav. He's online as well. Now Miroslav has got a residential button up here, and residential haves and wants. And when I click on his residential haves and wants, this is the way they should be coming up within the website. In other words, people cannot see the ICIWorld links. They don't see that at all. In fact, once you're a member of ICIWorld, we recommend that everyone only send people to their own website. You do not send people to ICIWorld. If they want to see exclusive listings in their area, if it happens to be up in Richmond Hill and you click on it, bingo, up comes all these lovely listings in Richmond Hill, all set up in a way that people cannot click on these message numbers. That means they have to call you. Now, if anyone complains that, you know, they can't see a picture here or anything, the reason for this is that these are exclusive listings, a lot of these. And exclusive listings means they may not necessarily be listed at the moment. And if you were to put a picture, people can see what they are. They can go around you, and they don't even have to deal with you, and you're not going to make any money. So this is a way to pull exclusive information throughout the community and bring it all together in one spot, so that people can look in this one spot, make it easy for them to find property, and you just tell them we have to put an agreement in place first before showing this particular property, but if you want, I could show it to you on Saturday. Come to my office at 12 or 1 o'clock, and we'll go from there, and then you can talk to this broker here and make sure that he's got an exclusive agreement in place to be able to cover your showing before you go in, and you get your proper agreements in place for your commissions. And so this is a way to have information displayed. This has to be done first before doing all this other stuff, search engine optimization and promoting the website. The same thing is true with commercial, and if you come down here, and it doesn't matter which one we pick, this is nicely optimized also for mobile devices. So this is a mobile website. This is essential for people. You'll see now how a mobile website looks in a mobile space. It all comes up nicely so that if somebody is interested in, let's say, just, I don't know, picking a city maybe, somebody might want to pick a city and, oh, let's just see here, I don't know, pick Hamilton and click on search. Bingo, up comes the properties right away, and people can see them, and if they're interested in any one of these particular listings here, bingo, all they have to do is give you a call and ask you questions on any of these listings. And so this is nicely optimized for their mobile phones. Now the other thing is you've got buyers here, getting people to come to your website, and they see all these lists of buyers are going to show them how well connected you are in the marketplace of buyers, and they're going to pass on your website to other people when they see how nice it is mobilized and how nice it is that you've got not only MLS listings. Now in this case, some brokers cooperate with MLS and other ones don't. In this case, this broker does not. In this case, I don't see, there are MLS listings, by the way, from the point-to agent people. If I clicked on GTA Homes, you will get MLS listings coming up on the site. Now the first three happen to be exclusive, the fourth exclusive, exclusive, exclusive. But you'll see here MLS, and then you'll see MLS. So each of you has MLS listings, and this is a key for you to talk to other people. When you're, you know, when Best Buy and Future Shop and all these large department stores, they don't say just come to Future Shop. They're saying there's a sale on, spring sale, or maybe it's a fall sale for students. Come and get a computer, that kind of thing. They're talking about the products that are in their stores. This is a store. This is like an office building on the internet, and you should be telling people what you have on your website. You talk to them about that you've got exclusive listings on your website. You've got residential, you've got commercial, you've got MLS, and you've got all of that if you have it. And okay, now Mr. Shakur, are you here? Shakur, let me see if he's got we were going to do some work on his website here today. We talked to him yesterday about doing it here today. Adnan Shakur, are you here? Adnan Shakur. Hello, Adnan. Okay, so he's online, but I guess he hasn't called in by phone. So a lot of people are just listening in today. I think that's what's happening. And if you can call in by phone, that would help, Adnan. I think I can remember the address. Yes, I'll take a chance that it's Adnan Shakur.point2agent.com. I hope that's it. Let's just take a chance. Yep, we're lucky enough to get there. So here's a sample of another website, and you'll see, again, people can click on all these various things. If I click on residential exclusives, they come up again. Okay, now what I wanted to do was to log into this particular website, and let's just and show you how to do the search engine optimization. And I'm going to try to, let me see if I can get in here. And then, okay, you are. And if you just give me one moment, I'm going to actually stop the screen from showing as I go look up Adnan's password here. And actually, I could have done it with yours as well, Ron, but I've got it here. We might do both, actually, before the day's over. If we have chance, we're going to try to do both. And I've got Adnan's password. I'm coming in here. I'm coming back, and I'm going to put it in, and let's see. I'm going to open up the screen, and you're going to see now how we can log in. But just before we log in, I wanted to show you that there's a Korea account that is connected, that there's a special agreement with these websites from Korea and Point 2 that was signed June the 1st of 2014. And that means that if you have the special DDF feed connected, and you should all mark that down, it's called the DDF feed, that means that when you hand in your MLS listing to your office, it will automatically go onto your website. It's called a DDF feed. Just mark it down, and then when we're online, you make an appointment with us. We'll make arrangements to get that all connected up. Essentially, you have Korea turn it on, and then you log in with your Korea account, and that's the switch that makes it work. And if you have listings on MLS, they will automatically appear on your website. So really, when you think about it, the only thing you need to do is to log into your website once a month. That's it. And look after your to-do list, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to click on sign in. Some people think that you got to be on these things every single day. The answer is no. We think you're better off talking to people, and we'll show you some suggestions of who to talk to here in a moment, called spheres of influence. I'm going to close this professional option that they have here, and this is the Express website, which is the $16.50 per month. Now, there is a to-do list here. You should look after that all the time. And the reason is that other brokers here are agreeing to allow their handshakes, their listings, to be on your website. If you do not approve them, that means that your customers can be missing seeing listings. You can be missing doing deals and not even realize it. There's no bell that goes off to let people know that. But I'm letting you know that every member should look after their to-do list and go through these things here. Next, yes, you should add a listing and update your logo and do that kind of thing. And if you want more resources, because today we cannot cover it. This is a full day course, all crammed into 90 minutes. But what I can do is I can click on this question mark up here, and you'll notice there is a user manual. This is a complete manual for the running of this website. And if I was to click on Getting Started, there is a whole section on marketing your website. And there it is all in print. How to register a domain name, add listings, promoting your site in offline mediums. All of these things are things that you can be doing on your website to promote your website. It's not just search engine marketing, which we're going to be doing here in a moment, but it's making sure you got your domain name on your business cards. It's make sure, you know, you're handing them out at open houses. In fact, when you do an open house, then when the people come in, you're going to talk to them about doing something very special. And I'm going to show you what that is. When someone comes in, usually the first question you ask them is, are you working with someone? And if they're not, you can tell them that you have a very special website that has a property search function. This property search function, what that does is you can program this website to automatically send out listings to your clients based on the price, the high and the low price, the number of bedrooms if that's what they want. If they're interested in commercial, you could choose commercial. Multifamily, apartment buildings, lots or land, residential. Let's say it's residential. Then you can specify locations. You can specify any locations in Ontario. Look at that. So if a person happens to be in Windsor and you want to receive listings for them if you're in Windsor, you can program this website so that they will receive listings absolutely free from time to time, and 2 weeks from now they could end up getting an email from your website that is a listing exactly what they're looking for, and give you a call and say, Ron, I'd like to go see this home tonight at 7 o'clock. Can you set it up for me? And it's all because you programmed it from an open house, and that generated leads for you, and next thing you know, you're doing a deal. It's that fast. Now, so many people have these websites and they're not using these features. It's a powerful, powerful feature. It's like having overdrive in a car, and maybe you never use it or something, or four-wheel drive in the wintertime, and you just don't use it. So that's what these websites are. They're packed jam full of opportunities for you to take advantage of them. Let's go back to the website. And some people ask me, is there some stats that you can check how many people you come to your website? Well, there happens to be, if you look at it, reports, and there's performance summaries, and there's listing summaries. You can click on these things and start to get a handle on the last 14 days, was there any activity? So if you're starting to do some special promotion, it's nice to be able to monitor the promotion that you're doing. Is it at least triggering some new leads to my website? And you can click on these kinds of things over here and see what's happening on your website. And let's go back here. And there's also a prospect database here too, people, that it will collect people that visit your website, and if they take a document or click on something and leave their name, it'll actually leave their name in here. And with the upgraded website, you can have it automatically send them out what is called a drip email campaign that automatically sends out listings, and not just listings, but articles. You can send it, land transfer tax, new home buyers kit, how much does it cost for a lawyer to buy a property, all of those kinds of things. Space them out once a week, and then they're starting to get something from you once a week, and it warms them up. It warms them up to you and your services, that you really got their best interest in mind to kind of help them along, because it's very complicated to buy a home, and every one of you are trained in all of the 40 and more different things that it takes to help people purchase a property, and you can have that working from your website, and that also will be triggering leads. The other thing that you can do too is have what is called a resource center, and the resource center is good because they can pass it on to all their family members and everyone else. Now you'll notice under Contact Me we have a resource links. You can make the button resource links as well. That's another way to do it. And here it's unlimited. Unlimited the number of resource links you can put in here. And you should have a resource link for your city. Why should anybody in the world move to your city? Well, in the case of Toronto, here's a link to Toronto. This helps to sell Toronto to the world. Keep in mind that there's over the population in some countries, and even Canada would be going down if it wasn't for immigration. So a lot of brokers, they really don't have a problem selling the property once they have an interested buyer. What they have a problem is just getting people to come to your location in the first place. So why not have a link to your local city, whether it's Windsor, London, Kitchener, Cambridge, Oshawa, Toronto, Mississauga, you name it. Have a link on your website that helps to sell the community of your website. So it shows, why should people, move to your area, that shows the quality of life and all that kind of thing in your area. All of you have got beautiful schools, parks, churches, and recreation centers, and police departments, and all of these community centers and everything. It's nice to have all of those resource links in here listed, a good 20 of them for sure, everyone. Now, where do you get a list of those? I'm going to show you a list here in a moment, and it's called the resource links of ICIWorld. We have the resource of what you can be putting on your website. And so you see that you can be programming your website to be sending out leads, and that's another way to kind of trigger leads for your website. But while we're on the website, we're going to go into changing this, and we're going to change it to the home page. And so this is the home page that people will see when they first come to the website. And some time ago, we attended a World Search Engine Convention. And at this World Search Engine Convention, we learned all about things called the page title, the meta description, the meta keywords, and we're going to spend a few moments now talking about all of these items. And I would like all of you to mark down numbers 1 to 7 underneath each other on a pad of paper. Numbers 1 to 7 on a pad of paper, and I'm doing that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the way, people, that was $4,000 to learn what I'm about to share with you, because that's what it cost for us to attend this convention down in, it was at the Las Vegas Hilton Convention Center. It was a World Search Engine Convention, and there was 1,000 search engine people from all over North America attending that. And there was people from Google, was the vice president of Google was there, Yahoo was there, Microsoft Networks there, and lots of other suppliers that do these kinds of things were there, sort of like a trade exhibition in booths. And then there were seminars going on all day long, every 3/4 of an hour, and they would be having websites on the screen with screens all over the place, and people would be commenting on that website and commenting on this website, and they would go right into viewing the source of a website. And what they do is something like this. They go up to the word view, and then they go here to the word view the source, and then they would go in here and try to view the source of all of these things that were going on the website. And what is it that you put in here to help trigger leads to your website? That's what they were studying, and that's what we learned to study there as well. And I'm now going to show you how to do it and how to optimize your own website to do that. And here we are. Now, in this case, now whose website am I on here? Can somebody help me? Let me go back to the office here. I'm going to have to go back and see who's... oh, I'm on Adnan Shakur. Adnan, what city are you in, please? Adnan? What city are you in? Maybe you can type it in, Adnan, in the box down there. Adnan Shakur, can you type in what city you are in? Okay, you happen to be in Hamilton, Ontario. Okay, so what I'm going to do, if that's okay with you, I'm going to optimize this website for Hamilton, Ontario. And so what we do is we go to websites, and all of you can do this for your own community. Just change your own community. When I put in the word Hamilton, you put in your own community. You go to this special button here, Page Settings, and there it is. Now, when it says Greater Toronto, if you're in Hamilton, you should put Greater Hamilton Area. Homes, condos, and commercial real estate. And then wherever you see Toronto, you put in Hamilton. Wherever you see Toronto. Now what I'm going to do, I'll just copy that. And let's see, where else do we see it here? We see it here. And bingo. Okay. So every one of you have to go ahead and do that for your area. This is called the meta description. So what they have is these robots and spiders, they call them, from these search engines. They go out and they search. They start with things like the title, and they start with the domain name. And I'm going to have you mark down number 1, domain name. Mark that down, number 1. Remember, you got numbers 1 to 7 underneath each other, and domain name is the first one. Now, if you have your own name, johnsmith.com, that's important for your own sphere of influence, for people that know you. So in choosing a domain name, I'm recommending that you have 3 domain names. Every one of you all pointed to the same website. And when you're at a wedding, that's a sphere of influence of family members and acquaintances and friends of acquaintances, all at the wedding. When you're talking to them during the wedding, sometimes they might, they ask what you do. I'm in real estate. Oh, very good. I was thinking of a property. Next thing you know, you can tell them about your website, but you can talk to them about Facebook, and that's the reason for social media to come into it on a personal basis. And as people get involved with social media, finding out about family, you got pictures of kids and people graduating and weddings and places that you travel around the world, and interesting things that are interesting off the internet. You share them with people. All of those things that you share and do through your Facebook and your other social media, that brings people to your Facebook. And then if you have a link to your website, they can come and visit your website, and all of a sudden they see that you've got all these listings on your website. Next thing you know, it's triggering a call for you. Now, having a domain name, if you're talking to people and you give out your own domain name, like in your case, adnanshakur.com or run, you just give your own domain name out to them. It's easy for them to remember because they know you. You're your friends. They're in the family. But if somebody new is coming to town, they're going to be searching Hamilton real estate. They might search Stony Creek real estate. They might search those kinds of terms. So it's good to have that kind of a term like Hamilton real estate in your domain name. So when Google searches Hamilton real estate, what comes up is maybe a couple of 100,000 results, Hamilton real estate. So now what you do is you go to the page title and you make the title on your website with Hamilton in it. All of a sudden, from 100,000 results, all of a sudden it's cut right down to 50,000 results because the other people don't have it in their title. And then if you put it in the meta description, next thing you know, you're down to maybe 10,000 results because people don't have it in their meta description. But then you should also put it in your meta keywords. And let me just do that here for you right now. Bingo. So we're doing the meta keywords. We're putting Hamilton in there. And if I missed any, you can come back later and put them in. Oopsie daisy. Let's just keep doing it. That there. That there.
Before Alan.
Oh, what the heck is happening here? I thought I was putting Hamilton in here. Hang on. There we go. I was doing Control-C instead of Control-V. Control-V is pasting. Control-C is copying. There we go. Did I miss any here? Oh, yeah, there's still some more coming in here. Toronto. So all of these are search terms that people might search on the internet, and you've got to go in and change them all. And it's not just on this one page. It can be on different pages. Okay, so there we go. You've got them all done. So now what I'm going to do is go down here and click on OK. Now, if anybody wants to talk to us online, you can do so. And if you don't have a microphone, by the way, everybody should get themselves a $20 headset. It's called a USB headset and microphone. Everybody should have one. You can talk to us right now if you all had one. And then what you can do is you can call in, if you don't have a headset, you can call in using a telephone. There is a on your screen to use a telephone to call in which case you can talk to us online right now. Up at the top right corner of your screen, if there's a red arrow that points to the left, you can maximize your control panel, look for the word audio, and then click on audio and open it with the plus sign, and you'll see mic and speaker, and then you'll also see use telephone, and you can dial in with your telephone, and then you can be speaking with us. So that's how to go ahead and optimize. Now you notice that you have also other pages that are on here, and theoretically you can be optimizing some of these other pages as well. I'm only going to do that one in the essence of time, but this is now starting to get your website optimized. When we go back to Office, what we're going to do is we're going to go to another item here called Domain Names, and I'm going to click on Domain Names, manage them. And I don't know if you've got any domain names pointed yet, Adnan, do you? It looks like he does. He now has his own domain name, his own personal name, working on his website. So that's good. But what we should do is set it up so that becomes the default domain for him when it comes up. And he does have it all set up for a default domain. Now the next name that he might want to consider purchasing, and I'm recommending that you can try to get it for $9.99 per year, and if you get it for 10 years, that's going to help. And you could type by starting to put in things like Hamilton real estate and homes for sale.com. I don't know if that'll work. Let's check the availability and see if that works. Hamilton real estate and homes for sale.com. I'll be son of a gun. Look at that. That name is available right now. Now, why did I make it extra long? Well, I've included the word homes. I've included the word real estate. I've included the word Hamilton. So Google, when somebody does a search, a customer on the internet does a search, it's got all of these terms in it, and that's good. So in other words, people can maybe find this site a little bit better. And if that was in your domain name, that's going to help. So domain name is number 1. And if I go back to edit here and go back to the page setting, you're going to mark down title is number 2. You want to get the name into the title. And we've got the title Hamilton Homes and real estate. You've got all of these terms, again, is in the title. So all of a sudden, Google finds it in 2 places. Then it comes down to meta description. Same thing. It's finding it in 3 places. So number 3 is meta description. You can write that down. Number 4 is meta keywords. So the search engines will search these words, and all of a sudden they find Hamilton area, homes, real estate, all of these in all of these areas. What it's doing and what they told us in Las Vegas when we were at these conventions is that all Google wants is for your website to be relevant. If somebody's searching homes in Hamilton, they want your website to have results that will satisfy that customer. So that's why Google is trying to come up with search engine algorithms which will prevent the tricksters from taking people away from your website, Adnan, and get them to come here, because this is a good website with good listings on it, and it satisfies the need for people looking for homes, and that's good stuff. So those are the 4 items that you want to do here. Now, some of these terms, some of the people that are knowledgeable about this kind of stuff, they know about this already, but here's some things that maybe they do not know. I'm going to click on websites again, and I'm going to go into edit, and I'm going to go to the first page on the screen. I'm going to go to edit content, and I'm going to suggest that where it says here, your source for Hamilton real estate, Hamilton real estate is the key. Hamilton real estate and homes for sale. Let's just put that all in there. If that is in the first line on your page, in bold italics, would you believe Google will search the bold italics on the first page of your website, and if it has the same, some of the same things that are in the meta tags, keyword, title, and domain name, that gives, if you have an equal, in other words, your site is equal with somebody else's up till now, your site will come up first before another site because you have optimized the first sentence on the page. So mark that down. Number 5 is the first sentence on the page. You want to optimize it in capital letters, bolded, in italics, something that will make it more noticeable, bigger than the rest of the printing on the screen. So I've now done that for your website, and I'm going to click on OK. So nobody knows the real search things that Google knows inside out. You become very experienced after a while when you learn some of these things. But they're changing their algorithms all the time, and they're giving weight to different things. And on this website, you'll notice that there's Facebook down here. There's your social media links down here. They'll give weight to these things as well, to the social media links that you have on your website. Now, you can make these website links be more prominent, having them at the top and along the side. And how you do that is back to Office here, and then there's a way to go into the search engine into the profile, and you'll notice that you can add your search engine social media links into this right here, and then there's a way to have it come up to be more prominent on your website as well. And so this will help you get connected. If you need help with them, you call these particular people, the hosting people here. ICIWorld is an official distributor of these sites. We're an official educator, and we are a first line of support for these websites. But if you need help from them, and sometimes we delegate it to you, you call the number 866-977-1777. And they're open, I believe, from 10:30 to 5:30, and that is actually to 6:30, and that's 5 days a week for assistance there. And they can give you help getting your information all optimized with Google. Now, we've got a couple of questions to answer that have been asked during the session. And one of the questions is, what is an organic search? An organic search is a natural, non-paid, it's unpaid search. So if the things that we're doing on Adnan's website to get his website to come up in a natural fashion, we call that an organic setup. And then when people search Hamilton real estate, homes for sale, something to that effect, then if his website comes up, that's an organic search. Now if he advertises in Google for pay per click, then that's a paid search. Meta descriptions, meta keywords, enter the same stuff except change the city. The answer is yes. The questions that are coming in over the internet now through the chat window, very good people. All you do is whatever city you're in. If you're in Windsor, you change it all, everything to Windsor. Whatever city you're in, if you're in Florida, and it doesn't matter, Tampa Bay, in California, if you're in Dallas, Texas, you just type in wherever you are in the world, you just simply type in the city. If you're in Kelowna or Vancouver, it doesn't matter. Collingwood, it just doesn't matter. Now, there's another question that if they have a website that is not from ICIWorld, can you get the exclusive listings by widget on the website? The answer is yes. And what you can do simply is to get them. And if you want to see what they look like on other websites, this triggers leads. I mean, people are spending money on their websites and they're not getting leads, and you wonder why. I'm going to go to For Members here, and I'm going to go down this time, a little bit different, to number 2, widgets. And this is almost like operating ICIWorld from your website. You're displaying the listings from ICIWorld on your website. Now, instead of showing ICIWorld design websites, we're going to go to other good website companies here, and you're going to see that we have widgets for all website companies in the world. Now, Pankaj, if you're able to tell me what kind of website, what is the name of your website provider, you know, whatever the name of the company is, we can go in here and we can look at it. And I'll just pick one here just for the sake of argument. Just pick this one here, and that happens to be this particular website from Mia Kim. And you'll notice that we suggest something similar for all websites, and that is that you have a residential button and you have a commercial button. When you click on residential, if somebody clicks on residential, up comes the residential listings. And if somebody's in, now this is really interesting. If you're in Windsor, here's a Toronto broker that has Windsor listings on their website. People can see your listings and they're in Toronto. And vice versa, if you happen to be someplace else in Ontario and you want to see the Toronto listings, all the Toronto people that put their listings, these listings can be shown all over the province. So all your listings, every one of you, can be shared with everyone all over the province. That's just marvelous. And what's even extra special, if somebody likes one of these, they cannot click on it. They have to call Mia in this case, or they have to call you in your case for more information. And how you handle these kind of calls is this way. When people call you and say, I'm interested in message number such and such, 321086, can you help me? You simply say, yes, I can help you. I will have someone call you back. And much like a doctor does referrals and different people do referrals, you're going to do a referral to the broker that's got this listing and say, listen, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? And that's a 5-minute phone call. it is averaging $3,000 to $10,000, and we do have one broker now who has done 15 of those, a RE/MAX agent, and that's a total of his time of 75 minutes, and he's actually made $45,000 just doing referrals. So every one of you must and should be doing referrals. Otherwise, you're not getting enough traffic to your website, and because it becomes inevitable. You know, if you don't get leads, and is it because of the widgets? No, because you have exclusive widgets residential and you have commercial. You have all of this. You even have for sale by owners on this website. If you look at here, if you go to Canada, and then you click on, I don't care if it's Belleville, for instance, there's listings in Belleville placed by the public. And so, you know, it's the information is here. You got to get them to it. Now, another thing that you could be doing is, let's say you have people that are interested in, theoretically, apartment buildings. You can send them the link to the apartment buildings if you wanted to. So there's a way to kind of doing that as well. For instance, if you right-click on that, you could copy that shortcut and send it to them. What would you be sending? You'd be sending that list right there to them. And then again, they would give you a call. Okay, let's move on. Now, what we're going to be doing is going through from 12 to 12:30. We're going to be reviewing some of the other ways, and we're going to be highlighting some of the other things as well. In fact, I'll show you eventually. Here's another gentleman, and pop that up here. There's another gentleman that's got residential and he's got commercial on his website. And when he's got the residential, I'm suggesting you could expand the area beyond your reach and even include, theoretically, the GTA, because when people move out of your area, you can trigger a lead from basically any place in Ontario, for that matter. It's possible that a Hamilton broker could get a call on one of these listings in Toronto. It's possible. And next thing you know, you can be doing a referral as well. And of course, the beauty on these websites is the way that other brokers have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website, and in a way that you also kind of get the calls. Now, we could be slowing down here on the internet. Try it one more time, and the internet seems to be slowing down a little bit. All right. Now, let me see one more thing. I also wanted to show that everybody should have let's see if I show here. When you have a website where it's a single page like this, for instance, at Century 21, you're going to notice that what Aubrey has, he has a View My Additional Website link. So in other words, he's got two websites. He's got this one, plus if you click on it, bingo, up comes this website. So this is a way to link his websites together. And if you put a simple statement here, please feel free to visit my other website, torontosuburbhomes.ca, it brings them back to this website. So people can go back and forth. So you can have more than one website. You only need one domain name on your business cards. Now, under his search button, we also install the IDX link from Treb. So you can see that people can easily search the Toronto Real Estate Board, if you're a member, right from your website. And so that's kind of nice as well. Yeah, city names, I would put a city name in a keyword, is another question coming in. And you're welcome to the other people saying thank you. Yes, just put in, make sure that you have a location, a geographic location in your meta tags and keywords, etc. Okay, now let's move on. Now, what we're going to be doing here is doing a summary, and this summary is available for you. In fact, I'm going to show the resources for members right now, that if you were to go to ICIWorld, you naturally would do your searches here. If you want to see seminars and review all services on ICIWorld, which if you're not making money, we're generating leads every 90 days, what you should do is you click on seminars, and you'll see that there's a recording of content here. You'll see there's a seminar at the Mississauga Real Estate Board here. You'll see there's another RE/MAX webinar we did for 2 RE/MAX offices at the same time right there. And then we just did this one here, Century 21 office, for instance, just a few days ago. You can click on these and listen to what's going on, and you'll see the comments of all offices should invite us to come back in every 6 months. There's new things happening all the time, and I'm going to ask every one of you if you want to consider inviting us to come into your office. We'd love to come back and talk about more of these things and answer more questions and to help you move forward on all this. Now, the For Members button, you can go in there, and if you need assistance on anything, there's a lot of assistance that's training and support right there. You click on that. And what you're going to find is that we have a special resource center down here, and I'm just going to go down to it. You're going to see about entering listings, and these are called the training videos. And I'm going to click on that now, and it brings up a private and confidential exclusive for executive members. And as we go down here through these links, you're going to see that there's a button here called Resource Links. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on Resource Link Ideas. There's ideas that you could put on your resource link on your own website. So in other words, if people are moving to your area, do they know how to get a hold of the hydro company? Do they know what the gas company? Do they know how to calculate land transfer tax or cost for a lawyer, building inspectors before buying, what an advantage that can be? And then you can have links to people that you know that, maybe you can be generating some business for them, and they can put links on their website back to you. But I would put in things like the community centers and the churches and the hospitals, and where people can find all of these kinds of things. On your website, you can be a source for upcoming events, for instance, what's happening. And you can link to the City Hall to their events page, so you don't have to update it. You just have to put the link on your website, and then it will link to the City Hall website. Again, if you don't know how to do this, you give us a call. It's the same thing sometimes if you don't know how to, a lot of people, of course, don't know how to fix electronic ignition on the car, but you know where to get it fixed. You get to the mechanic, and you just simply write all your questions down one after another, and then get into a little 30-minute workshop with us, and we'll show you how to kind of do this. So that's the training video. So we're going to go back there, and I'm going to go down to number 15. You should mark that down. It's called Segment 5, How to Promote Your Website. And when I click on that, there's a whole section here. It starts right here. It's the largest section in our private area, and it's all about on promoting a website. Look at that. There's a great big long section here. How to market your website from Point 2 and from Google advertising, fundamentals. All of these things here, there's no way I could possibly hope to go into it in detail more than what we've done today, other than clue you in that there's some things that you can work on for the rest of your life, basically, and over the next year, over the next few months, several months, and forever, because this is like an office building on the internet. If you build a brand new office building at the corner of Yonge and Steeles, that office building, you got to shovel the snow and wash the windows, and you got to, keep everything up to date and repaint things from time to time. Well, the same thing is true with the website. Once in a while, you want to come in and fix it up. Mostly, though, what brokers should be doing, once you join ICIWorld, to be quite honest, the only time you're going to need it is to add a listing from time to time, and that's only a matter of a few minutes. The only other thing you're going to do on ICIWorld is to search from time to time, which takes less than 60 seconds to print a list. After that, you just log into your website once a month. That doesn't take very long. What else should you be doing? You're looking at it. It's how to promote your website. You should be learning all the different ways that you can get people to go to your website. Now, let's cover some of these things that you can be doing other than search engine optimization. Now, after this session is over, there will be a little survey that I really appreciate. If you don't mind filling it in, we really appreciate it. We like getting your testimonials and any suggestions that you have and what you liked and what you may not have liked about it. And we're going to talk about that too around at the 12:25 mark, just getting some of your feedback online if you can think of something that particularly you think was helpful. Now, the reason why the pledge can be important is because some people sort of, if they have a flat tire, they abandon their car, so to speak. They just sort of abandoned things and just kind of gave up. Well, our pledge states that you should be generating leads or doing business every 90 days. Otherwise, call us. and we're going to go over your website, and by golly, do we ever find things wrong all the time. And these are what we call a material defect is a word that I made up, means that it's the difference between doing deals, not doing deals. It's like your gas tank does not have any gas. If it doesn't have gas, it's not going to go. Well, I've been to websites where the links were not working. People, this is the internet. Nothing is solid and forever. Even the president of Facebook says, if you're going to have pictures, you should have print pictures in case of something wrong. So it's not permanent out here. You got to check your website. Make sure it's like a car. You got to make sure your lights are working all the time. Make sure the links are working. Go in and check your domain name. People have lost their domain name. They try to get it back, and next thing you know, somebody stole their domain name and tried to sell it back to them for $2,000. Coca-Cola or one of those major large corporations had to pay that kind of money and much more way in the past because somebody else grabbed their name. And what's worse is if some unscrupulous people grab your domain name, they could end up, oh, you don't want to hear some of the horror stories of what they can do with your domain name, and somebody types in your domain name and what they get to see. But anyways, those are the kind of things that can happen out there on the internet. So you log into your website minimum once a month and keep it active. Now, measure your success. That's what we're talking about. Now, the reason why we're taking our busy time, all of us are busy to do this session, is because really of all the industries that are on the internet, it is real estate that provides the highest return on investment, because somebody can call you on something, you go show it and make $50,000. We've got brokers that are doing it. People, if you haven't seen it, and I'm doing this even for the benefit of people seeing all of this later, you've got to go read these testimonials up here of business being done that's not on real estate boards. Just click on testimonials. But these were listings on different websites, and they trigger leads, and people saw their information and gave them a call, and they ended up doing business and making money. And so you've got to all learn the 3 special questions. If you don't know them, go to the seminars, learn the 3 special questions, get yourself up to 15 opportunities to make money on ICIWorld. Here's a good example, 3 questions. This Doreen asked someone. She put the information on ICIWorld. It happened to be space for a church, and yet she's a residential sales lady. And she put it on. She got members of a congregation who were interested, ended up showing it and making $54,000 doing this within 90 days of learning 3 questions, how to market information on the internet compatible with your licensing bodies, and in Ontario it's called RICO. And so let's move on here. Hang on. Okay. 1 lead, yes, can make you a lot of money. Optimize your website. Links to the listings is the key. You want to have at least 10 or 15 on ICIWorld. Your to-do list, get into that regularly. And if you do put a photo and a listing on your website, make sure that you have at least 5 photos. Some brokers have gotten blocked. I went and I saw some brokers were blocked because they did not have proper photos. If you're going to put a photo on a .2 website, you definitely should have at least 5 photos. Excuse me. Add resources to help your customers. We've talked about that already. Without listings, why should people call you? We've talked about that. Driving traffic and having both commercial and residential, and the commercial people do, you know, I had one commercial gentleman, he says, you know, I asked him, well, listen, I know you don't want residential on your commercial looking website. If you change the photo on your website, it makes it look commercial. If you change it to residential looking, it looks residential. Or you can put the skyline. In some cases, the city of Toronto or Miami or whatever your website is around the world. And you will trigger leads. Includes MLS and exclusive listings. Market, and there's an example of some of the links. You've got to have these kinds of things, residential included, on your website. Would you, if you told people you've got power of sales, an investor, you've got power of sales on your website, they're going to want to go to your website. They're going to make a special effort to make sure that they go there. And then, if your website is mobilized and you give them your domain name, they can do it right on their handheld phone, pull up the power of sales that we've supplied you from ICI World, and bingo, they said, this is great. They will visit your website regularly and call you to do business. Now, I've got some people that are talking, and if you can mute your own phone, that would be helpful there. Unless it's a question. Somebody want to ask a question? Okay. So here's the reasons why people are not getting leads. Lack of listings, not structured properly. They got the addresses showing, no traffic to the website. Websites are not highlighting listings. They're actually almost hidden. Some people had the link, but it was hidden into a big directory, and you couldn't even find it. You'd have to spend half an hour to find the darn things. In the case of Run, at the moment, it's not framed, but we're going to get it framed for you. This is a workshop, people, for licensed real estate brokers and salespeople. So thank you for allowing me to use your websites as an example. If they're not 100%, that's normal, because everybody's getting this stuff up and running and working towards a time when everything's working great and triggering leads. Hopping in a car and go and show them properties. Now, domain names, we've talked about how to pick a domain name, but if you want it, number 17 in the training videos where we showed you training and support under 4 members, go to number 17 in the training videos and you'll read about that. These videos that we supply from ICI World can be played on any device. Make sure, however, that careful with your bandwidth. If you're using Wi-Fi, it's free. If you're using 3G or LTE or some service provider where you're paying for listening to our videos, that could cost you a lot of money. But make sure you know how to switch to Wi-Fi and be on Wi-Fi. Contact customer care. We've shown you the manual already. There's also another link here. You can write this down. ICIWorld.com/real estate resources. I'm going to give you a moment to write that down. I'm going to have a sip of water here while you're doing that. This subject is so broad that I can do a full day seminar on it. I'm going to click on it. And you're going to see that there's real estate lead generating resources. There's a whole section on social media. There's education. Reasons to work with a realtor. I mean, we talked about a resource center. Why not have the reasons to work with a realtor? The top 10 reasons to work with a realtor. Why not have those on your website? You know, so you can see that you can be doing things to help. And you know, once you've built your resource center, it's built, people. It's like a library there, and you can, people ask you a question. They will love the fact, your customers and clients and prospects are going to love the fact they can go to your resource center and look something up themselves on their own time. So you can get through all of this kind of stuff here on your own time. And I can't get through it. We don't have enough time. We have 13 minutes left to finish here today, and try to leave it for some questions if possible. There are the 7 big items, and we didn't cover the last 2, and we're going to cover them now. We talked about a domain name being number 1. You should all have that written down. Number 2, the title. Number 3, description, media keywords, and then the first sentence on the page. Here we go, people. Number 6. If there are 2 websites that are exactly the same coming up in the search engine, equal in terms of having everything else done, but one has a registered domain name for 1 year and the other one has registered it for 10 years, guess which one's going to come up first in the opinion of Google? So Google has, when we say the word algorithms, we mean it. There are so many little things that they're giving weight to. They'll go and search a whole pile of 1,000 sites instantly, and the ones that have the higher ratings for all of these stuff, those are the ones that are going to come up. So we're giving you what has to be done, and there it is. Now, so that's registering a domain name. Now, if you get a domain name for $9.99, the renewals are always around $14. You can do that with GoDaddy. You can use any domain registrar for that matter for that. But if you did it for 10 years, you've just covered it for 99 bucks for 10 years, and you have an advantage. And then, of course, pay-per-click. Every single person listening to this presentation now and in the future through the video, can be to the top of the search engine within 48 hours. My only question is, make sure that your website is optimized with listings that will trigger leads. Yes, it's good. Every broker has MLS. And if people go and see them, it's possible some people might see the address and drive by the property, so you might be losing something. But if you have at least some listings, thousands of listings from ICIWorld with a little widget, it's all it takes. It was built for real estate people. This is our family. If it was my family, I'd want them to have it, you know. But we got to make some money to keep in business, of course. But we're trying to keep the price down, the lowest possible. And I'll mention it here. People that it's $3.19 on our renewals this at the moment. But if you sponsor a member to join, just one member during the year, you can actually rejoin for $240. All you have to do is send an email that you'd like to sponsor somebody, and the new person that's sponsored, they can also join for $240. In fact, if anybody's thinking of joining, they can call a member. In fact, somebody could end up calling any one of you here and say, will you sponsor me? And if they're a licensed real estate salesperson, why not sponsor them? That means your renewal will be $240, and that means they can also join for $240. Some people ask me, what happens if I get you 4 more, Gary? What we do after the first one is we give a 3-month bonus for each one after that. So theoretically, if you got 4 people to join, you actually get a year free. There's some other things, how to market your website from point 2. We've actually seen that. Search engine optimization from Google. That's a link that's in our resource center. You can go into that because that'll take a lot more than the time that we have available right now. Yes, it's important for your website to have all of these ads on your website. We've talked about that. You can be doing referrals, and driving traffic becomes very profitable once you do it. Don't give up on it. This is all cutting-edge technology, and it's getting better and better as time goes on. There's the big 5. We've already covered that. We covered it in domain names, titles, and keywords, and meta tags, etc. We're winding down now, so we're moving along a little bit because we've done that. Handing out your business cards with your domain name. Tell people what's on your website. Go for a walk in the sunshine. It's springtime. Go down your main street, wherever the businesses are. Introduce yourself to all the business people. Say, I'm in the area, I work the area, and I would like to come out here minimum once a year or whatever, and say hello to everybody and give you my business card, let you know we're doing real estate in the area, and we have a website that's got thousands of listings, residential homes, color photos, slideshow displays, interior photos, commercial, residential, exclusive, MLS, the whole works. Please feel free to visit our website. And by the way, here's my website address. You can pull it up on your phone. And if you want, I could show you now. And sometimes first thing in the morning, 9, 10 o'clock, going and seeing these businesses. The next thing you know, you develop a relationship there. They see all the things that you have that other brokers don't have, and it makes them want to deal with you. When you put an ad in a newspaper, why not put another line at the bottom of your ad that says 14 or thousands of listings on my website with color photos? I mean, the person reading the ad might not like your one ad. There's lots of people reading these ads that maybe that's not the home for them, but if you tell them you got 14,000 ads on your website, all of a sudden they'll look at the website and pull it up on their iPad or their iPhones and computers. And all you have to do, you're already spending money to go in a classified ad, a commercial real estate people putting classified ads in all these newspapers, spending, $300-400 a month. Why not put a little ad there that you got thousands of ads, exclusive? Tell them you've got exclusive opportunities on your website. They're going to like that. Power of sales, all that kind of stuff. We've talked about the big 6. So when we talked about numbers 6 and 7, that again, that was the number of years to have a domain name as well. And we suggest you try the pay-per-click. Start with maybe 50 or 100, 200 bucks a month, something like that, and absolutely monitor it. Are you getting the calls? And you should be, because you've got wonderful listings, wonderful websites, and you're good people and like to give good service, so you should be getting calls on this stuff. There are search tools that you can use, and you'll do that with Google AdWords. You're going to get a hold of Google, and you're going to open up an account, and you get your $100 of free advertising, which you just have to ask them for, and then they'll give you the AdWords tool that you can search to see what triggers more leads than other places. Websites are like billboards. We've shown how you can have 2 websites. You link the 2 of them. You only need one name on your business cards. When people go there, they can always visit and see the other one. You can do a fax multicast to people in the business area, and people don't throw away their faxes. A lot of time they're just hanging around the office, and next thing you know, they decide they want to move or lease another property. Next thing you know, they see your fax. We've got people reporting that they've done business from that. Doing email multicast, the same thing. In fact, when you send out an email, make sure you have the link to your website and tell them what's on your website so that they get used to doing it, visiting it. If you ever sit at a construction builders meeting, make sure you tell them you've got 700 pieces of development land on your website. All of those builders sitting at that table will want your business card. They're always looking for this stuff, and the majority of that stuff is exclusive, and you've got it. You can join your chambers of commerce and network with people. You can network your website every time. If you're going to pick up a check at a lawyer's office, make sure every lawyer gets a copy of your website address, either with your business card, and you tell them that you've got color photos and slideshow displays and commercial and industrial and exclusive listings, residential, it's everything. Tell them about what you've got on your website. Your social media, absolutely essential. Make sure your website's linked, and so that when people go there, they can see the link to your website, and that helps. On your LinkedIn profile, make sure you put on there that you belong to the Canadian Real Estate Association or the National Association of Realtors. People will see that you're accredited professional people with industry, with a code of conduct, and you have ethics and all of these kinds of things, and they're going to help respect you. And that's going to help when you have these things showing on your website, and vice versa, have your website showing on there, on the LinkedIn profile, with the actual logos of CREA and NAR and the Ontario Real Estate Association, Toronto Real Estate Board. Put those all on there. People see that. They're more comfortable to kind of and feel safe to deal with you, because there's a lot of problems on the internet from scoundrels out there. Yes, you can do publicity and advertising. We've talked about studying the keywords. Don't try to trick search engines of the world, or you can get knocked down. Finding keywords, we've covered that. Google will help you with that. Linking to other sites and have them link to you. If you're going to help a mortgage broker, put him on your site. Have the mortgage broker link to your site, vice versa. You can even advertise on your website too. Theoretically, you could advertise cars on your website. You know, you could get people because you have traffic on your website, and at the end of the year, you never know if somebody bought a car because of it. And you find out, you can see that you can actually sell advertising on your websites. And we haven't got too much into that, but we'll talk more about that in the future. Domain names, we talked about that, and bad designs, we're not going to talk about that. Be careful at click fraud. That's not as prevalent as it was before. It could be where some of your competitors, if you're paying per click, they would click on your website link on the Google 100 times, and if your budget was $100 at $1 click, all your budget would be gone to this one person who was clicking. So that's why I question Google. If I'm not getting, as a broker, any one of you, I'm on your side. If you're not getting the leads off of there, let me know, and maybe we'll call Google together and question them on that stuff. Our pledge is no member should go longer than 90 days without doing business, a deal, or at the very minimum, developing a good business relationship with someone that you feel will lead to doing business with someday. Otherwise, call us. I know it's overwhelming, everything that we're talking about today. Today's session was meant to give you an insight on how you can be promoting your website, and because I've recorded it, I'm going to be stopping it here in a moment and making it available to our members. And we'll address the material defect, and we'll make sure somehow that you're going to be generating leads. You just have to have the patience to work with us as we have with you. That finishes our session for today. Get your $100 from Google advertising. Just have to mention it to them, and bingo, you can be in business. There will be a survey afterwards. This completes our session. If you hold on one now for just one moment, people, I'm going to bring up the main website of ICIWorld and leave it that here to finish off the seminar. And people, if they want to find out more information about ICIWorld, they can click on Contact Us way up here, and I'll leave some of this on the screen so that if people want the telephone numbers to contact us, there they are on the screen. And if you're listening to this by video, you can pause the screen. There's the telephone numbers. Feel free to give us a call. Come on down into the website anytime you want and get the widgets working on your website and get all of these tools working for you. Take advantage of the internet. Enjoy yourselves. Have a lot of fun. That completes our session for today. One moment, please, while I stop this session. And the session is being recorded. I'm trying to stop it here now. One moment, please, and then I'm going to open it up for questions, but I'd like to get some feedback. Can I get some feedback on how anyone enjoyed today's session? Mention your name first so that I can single you out so we don't talk over each other, please.
Miroslav, it was very educational. Thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you for your comments. I appreciate that, Miroslav. I enjoy working with you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
It's Ron. I want to thank you again. I enjoyed this. I do have to work on my website. I tried to send it over to my provider, and I didn't do a very good job. So I probably will call the office and see if I can get some help.
Yeah, what you should do is just book a 30-minute session. You can even start with myself if you like. And let us just get in there because we specialize in the Point 2 website. And if you want, we can even do it in a conference call along with your other people. So in other words, if you have assistants that are working with you, we can actually work with your assistants. They can be at their facility, at their office. You can be at your home or business office, and we can tie the three of us in together and actually work on it together. And where that person can really help you, in your case, Ron, is really, I'm going to suggest on the how to promote the website. In other words, the search engine optimization, taking some of the tools and understandings that we have here and then getting them to help you with that.
Agreed.
Anyone else has a few words to say? I'm going to actually stop the whole session here now because I can't seem to stop the recording here. So anyone else has something else to say about the session? Okay, some of the other ones didn't have their microphones and phones working. They were listening in, typing in things. Let's see. Thanks for knowledgeable webinar. I just got online. The $100 Google pay-per-click was another question just came in. Thank you very much. We will be ordering another website shortly from you. This is very helpful. Thank you. So I'm getting great comments. Thank you so much, people. I really do appreciate this. We just enjoy kind of helping people do this. Another question from someone. Can you explain one more time the $100 Google pay-per-click? Yep. You get $100 free. All you have to do is ask for it. First-time customers can get $100 pay-per-click from Google. Okay, that completes our session for today, and everybody have a great weekend, and we're always here for you. I'll be putting this online sometime, and talk to you later. Have a great weekend.
All the best.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.